This video is going to be extremely hard for me to record. And this video is going to be talking about suicide and suicide attempt. So I just want to give that warning in case that bothers you. Please do not watch this video. 3 days ago, I was minutes away from losing my husband. My husband has talked about wanting to end his life for a very long time, for years. There would be so many times that I would catch him early in his plans. He would go out to our building and I just had this feeling that something was really wrong. I would run out there and knock on the door and he would eventually unlock it. And I would go in there and I would see what he was doing, and sometimes he would have a rope, sometimes he would just be sitting there. And I would just grab a hold of him and I would hug him and I wouldn't let him go. And I said, "No, Shane, you're staying with me. I love you so much." And this went on for several years. And it kind of got to the point where I started to think maybe it wouldn't go further than that. But I want to start out by saying, if anyone is saying that, believe them. And do all you can for them. Get them help immediately. 3 days ago, I almost lost my husband. The day started out as any other day. But I could tell that something was wrong. I could tell that something was off about my husband, and he was being a little bit secretive. He was kind of staying by himself, and I noticed that he went to the bathroom, but I could tell that he was kind of up to something, and I asked him what he was doing, and he said, "I'm just going to the bathroom." But I could just tell something was wrong, something was off with him. He just seemed really distant, and something was bothering him. And I heard him in our kitchen taking some medicine, but he has migraines very frequently, so I didn't really think too much of that. And then I heard him open up our back door very quietly, and that kind of made me start to think about things. But I was just cleaning. I was just picking up toys on the floor and cleaning that day. And it was a few minutes later that I got up and I walked to this room right here. And I looked out my bedroom window. I looked out my bedroom window and I seen that he was inside of his building. And that alarmed me. I walked to my computer. My computer just happened to be open, and I seen where he had wrote me a long message, and I only read about the first 2 sentences that said that he loves me very much, but he is too broken to be repaired. I instantly knew what was going on. I threw my shoes on and I ran out the door to the building. I ran to the door and I tried to open it, but it was locked, and I said, "Shane," I yelled, "Shane, open up." And I heard him gasping for air. My heart is flying talking about this. It is a miracle from God how everything worked out. I didn't know what to do. I really didn't know what to do. God showed me what to do. He showed me exactly what to do, because time was very precious at this point. It was very important for me to get inside the building any way possible. It just happened that one of our shovels was laid right against our building. I grabbed that shovel and busted out the window. But before I did, I yelled, "I'm gonna break the window." And he didn't say anything. So that was my cue to break it. So I busted the window out. Within just a few hits, I busted the window out. And I just looked down, not knowing how to get inside the window because I'm really short. I looked down and something just told me, pick up those blocks and stack them on top of each other. And just so happens that it's amazing. It's really incredible. But not long before that, my husband was doing a lot of cleaning up in our yard. He was cutting a lot of the grass and pulling up a lot of the brush and stuff in our backyard and making it look really good. And there was some wooden blocks and all of that he had stacked right there beside the building. And something just told me, and I know it was God, he told me, stack them. And I just stacked them. Just one by one, stacked them on top of each other. And I just prayed, please let them stay up so I can get over into the window. And I instantly climbed on top of the box and jumped through the window. Inside, I see my husband. He was kicking around and struggling. And I told him, stand up, Shane. Stand up. But I believe at this point he was pretty much unconscious. I leapt through everything that was in the shed, I guess you would call it that, the building. And I grabbed my husband and I seen him. He had hung himself. And I grabbed him, and he weighs 200 pounds. I weigh 130, 140. I tried to grab him and get him to stand up, but I couldn't. He was stiff. And his face, it was black and blue. His eyes were bulging out of his face. His tongue was swollen. He was foaming. I thought he was gone. I've got to get him down any way possible. I opened up the door and I just took a leap of faith that I was making the right decision by running right back into our house. And I just knew exactly where the scissors were. My mom had, just a few days before that, put them right on my desk. So I remembered that instantly. And I ran through and I grabbed them. And I ran back outside as fast as I could. I threw my shoes off. And I used the scissors. And I honestly didn't know if the scissors would cut the rope or not, but they did. And Shane fell hard to the ground, and there was just no way that I could hold him up. He was not breathing. He was very stiff. I remember just praying to God very loudly, Lord, please show me what to do. Tell me what to do, because I can't do this on my own. And I just immediately started to give him CPR. I remembered how to do CPR from just watching videos. I did that for a little while. And he started gasping for air. And he started breathing again. Once he started breathing again, I ran back inside and I called 911. And I gave him my address and everything. And I ran back outside to check on Shane. And each time that I would run back out, I really didn't know how I would find him. Whether he would be alive. And he was breathing. I will say that he had wrote me, the message he wrote me was at 1:23, And by the time I got a hold of my dad, it was 1:32. So all this happened very quickly. And I got Shane to sit up, and when he sat up, his neck was just completely limp. His head was just limp, and I had to help him hold his head up. And I remember asking him, Shane, do you know who I am? And he said, Heather. And he just kept saying, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. And I told him, Shane, don't talk to me, talk to God. Quickly after that, the cops and the ambulance came, and they talked to Shane for a little while, and Shane walked to the ambulance. He looked disoriented, but he walked. And yeah, because of everything that's going on, they didn't allow visitors at the hospital. But I did get news that all the scans and everything, all the health results with him showed up that everything was fine. It's just a miracle. It's just a miracle. I have not been able to see Shane since this happened. Because after he stayed at the hospital for, I believe, a day, they sent him to a inpatient facility where he can absolutely get the help that he needs and deserves. And I've spoke to him once on the phone, and he told me that he feels better and that he loves me and he knows that things are going to be okay. And he said that he's going to try to come home sometime next week. I'm not sure how long that he's going to be gone. He's probably going to be there for a week or two. But I am so happy and so thankful that he is okay. And I cannot wait to hug him and I can't wait to talk to him and just snuggle up with him. This is his blanket right here. I just want to say I'm so that he's so good to me. And I love him so much. A couple of days before all this happened, he gave me a little gift. And he said, this is your early Mother's Day gift. And I don't know if it's because he felt like he wasn't gonna be here for Mother's Day for me, but it's so precious. He knows I love elephants, and he got this customized for me with a little keychain that says Mama, and then it has two other little elephants that says for our kids. It says Jackson and Vera. He got to pick out all the colors. He totally customized it for me. I just want to do this video because I want to help bring awareness to suicide and suicide attempts, and that there is absolutely hope. And I want to have Shane share his story. And I want to make videos from the spouse's perspective as well, of warning signs and things like that. But I am so happy and so thankful that my husband is okay. But I really miss him a lot, and I cannot wait to see him. It's been really hard, honestly. It's been really hard these past 3 days of everything that's happened. I personally feel very stressed, and I feel like it's hard to believe that he's okay. I can't get past the way that he looked, because he looked like he was gone. I've never seen someone look that way before. But I also want to share how good our Heavenly Father is to us. He answered my prayers. He was with me that day. And I keep telling my mom how it makes me feel really uncomfortable, how I feel like, what if I was just a minute too late? What if I'd done just anything else before I checked on him? What if I went to the bathroom? What if anything, literally anything that would have made me just a minute too late? And she told me, you wasn't going to be too late. God made sure that you were there when you were supposed to be there. You were meant to be there at that time, because that's what God had planned for you. And that makes me feel a lot better about it. Prayer is a very powerful thing, and miracles happen every single day, and I can say that this is a true miracle from God. And I also want to say, please just love each other, cherish each other every day,